Hi, I am Maísa Brum. I have an undergraduate degree in Portuguese and English language and a PhD in Linguistics, and I'm currently working as a public school professor at the Federal Institute of Rio Grande do Sul. I'm going to present the work entitled EFL, a Multiliteracy Pedagogical Practice for Youth and Adult Education, which was developed as a part of my doctoral dissertation. So, the objective of this work is to present a continuing teacher education program developed in South Brazil with the aim of promoting the construction of a multiliterate pedagogical practice for the EFL language classroom. But before I explain how this program was developed, I would like to set the context for this presentation. I am talking from Brazil, from the southernmost state of my country, a state called Rio Grande do Sul, as you can see on the map. This work was developed in the city of Santa Maria, located in the center of Rio Grande do Sul state, the state where I live in. In this city, Santa Maria, you can find the Federal University of Santa Maria, where I studied during my PhD journey. As the aim of this work is to present a continuing teacher education program developed in South Brazil in the city of Santa Maria, it is also important to contextualize the reason the program focuses on youth and adult education, or in Portuguese, Educação de Jovens e Adultos, what we call EJA. According to some Brazilian researchers, this educational area is fragile due to misconception that this category of education is only aimed at rectifying poor education for the ones that did not have the opportunity at the right moment in their lives. Because of this category of education is also often inappropriately seen as the place for bad students involved with illicit things, and so on. Furthermore, when we look to the side of teachers, it is perceived that there is a lack of professional development for this specific context, especially in the English language area. The theoretical framework adopted for this continuing teacher education program was based on the pedagogy of multiliteracy's approach, which understands language as dynamic and plural, and believe that it's through meaning-making that we, as teachers, can address social diversity and multimodality in our classes. When looking at our EFL classes, the pedagogy of multiliteracies help us to understand that teaching English concerns not only forms and pronunciation, but also, and I would say more important, teaching social diversity and multimodality, aiming at building awareness and social change in our students' minds and lives. The continuing teacher education program was carried out with 2 teachers of English working with youth and adult education at public schools in the city of Santa Maria, state of Rio Grande do Sul, Brazil. Teacher 1 holds a master's degree in language, has been an English teacher for 5 years in the public context, and teaches for lower secondary students. Teacher 2 holds an undergraduate degree in English, has been an English teacher for 6 years in the public context, exclusively for EJA, Youth and Adult Education. She teaches for upper secondary students. So, the goal of the program was to discuss and bring new possibilities to the English teaching practice of the participants, as well as to promote collaborative practice and produce didactic units based on the pedagogy of multiliteracy. The program was developed into 4 different moments. First, theoretical discussions about the pedagogy of multiliteracies. Second, practical workshops for the production of classroom teaching materials. Third, teaching practice, where the participants went to their own classrooms in order to use the didactic unit they have designed previously. Fourth, self-confrontation, which consisted of sessions where the participants could talk and reflect about their teaching practice. In the first moment, the theoretical discussions, first, semi-structured interviews were conducted in order to understand participants' initial representations of language teaching and language learning. Then, theoretical discussions about the pedagogy of multiliteracies were developed with the teachers. These comprised 7 meetings with the participants, and the discussions were based on Montemor and Cope-Calante's texts. Specifically on the knowledge process proposed in the pedagogy of multiliteracy, which are experience the new, known, conceptualizing by naming, by theorizing, applying creatively, appropriately, analyzing creatively or functionally. So, the construction of the didactic units focused mainly on this knowledge process. So, the practical workshops. The second moment, the practical workshops, consisted of 7 meetings with the participants. Each teacher designed a didactic unit for a specific class chosen by them. The units were organized and developed based on the knowledge process proposed by the pedagogy of multiliteracies. Before starting to design activities for their didactic units, the teachers select a social practice, discursive genres, and contexts related to their discipline-based curriculum that would best suit their students' interests. The third moment was the moment that the teachers went to their classrooms to apply the material developed. This moment lasted 1 semester. The fourth and last moment of the program comprised 3 meetings. The classes from the previous moment were recorded on video. Afterwards, some excerpts were shown to the teachers in order to discuss to what extent a multiliteracy pedagogical practice could be applied into their teaching context. According to Aguiar and Machado, through self-confrontation, participants compared their expectations and share impressions of their work. Their engagement in this activity provides self-awareness of their own teaching performance. Some considerations. The production of the didactic units and teachers' reflection upon the material demonstrated that they improved their pedagogical planning from the perspective of the pedagogy of multiliteracy, turning their practice into a more meaningful, relevant, and contextualized environment for their students. Concerning the teaching of English for EJA, youth, and adult education in the context of a public school, the participants reported that their students became more engaged in class. My students could see that English is also a tool for them to become independent and a path for new opportunities in life. This was a quote for teacher 1. Some bibliographical references. Thank you very much for listening and watching.